Game 1 of the playoffs, the Fever had nearly 2 million viewers tuning in, while all the other games had around 400,000. Even the WNBA Countdown, which was aired before the Indiana Fever game, had more viewers than 2 of the series.
The league versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take it to the next level.
Caitlin Clark will be out of league basketball for an incredible 23 days, and her playoff loss has already hurt ratings.
And it looks like we're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unrivaled league.
Although WNBA experts and fans have officially announced that they would not be watching, let's examine how Caitlin has affected the league this season. You'll be astounded.
Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this year.
Fans were shocked by Caitlin's statement. But now ESPN analysts Molly Karam and Monica McNutt will discover who the true face of the WNBA is, given that attendance will be at an all-time low for the season.
I wonder if Caitlin, in every post-game press conference, she came out and talked about the kind of hateful comments that she was getting. If she came out and told everybody the reason why she has personal security that goes with her every single place, it's a lot. And so it's not just Caitlin Clark fans or Indiana Fever fans. It is not all going in one direction.
With the official conclusion of her first season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, the Iowa superstar, has demonstrated that her presence in the league has been nothing short of revolutionary. Throughout the season, the rookie sensation, who was renowned for her ability to make plays and shoot from a distance, enthralled spectators and broke attendance and viewership records everywhere she played. Regretfully, Clark's impact on the league cannot be overstated. This season, she was a driving force behind the Fever's league-leading attendance numbers both at home and on the road. However, her rookie season ended after a tough playoff loss to the Connecticut Sun, and in what many had hoped would be a deeper postseason run.
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie, targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation, targeted by the disrespect that they've shown to the WNBA. She said, no, they're expecting this rookie class to be perfect. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years.
When Clark was on the court, arenas were crowded with excited fans, some of whom traveled across the nation to watch her shoot from deep, deliver pinpoint assists, and display her incredible basketball IQ. Her performances were nothing short of spectacular, drawing large crowds and increasing the Fever's national visibility. As a result, the Fever saw a sharp increase in popularity and became one of the WNBA's most watched teams. But now that Clark is out of the playoffs, the WNBA is doomed.
The Caitlin Clark effect is definitely real. I mean, we can all see that. However, experiencing it in person is totally different. I was at the Fever and Indiana game last night, and the amount of 22s that I saw on the way to the arena and inside the Capital One Arena might as well have just been a home game for Caitlin Clark. Not Indiana, Caitlin Clark. The thing is, that didn't surprise me. But what did surprise me was how packed the game was.
It's not only Indiana Fever fans noticing the gap. Caitlin Clark's absence is being felt across the entire WNBA. With her out of the playoffs, early ratings already show a clear decline, and weekend matchups, usually among the most watched games of the year, are expected to suffer a steep drop in viewership. Audiences weren't just following their favorite franchises. They were tuning in specifically to see Clark, whose electric play made every appearance a headline event. Clark has elevated herself beyond being just a standout on one roster. She's evolved into a league-wide phenomenon. Her missing presence isn't just a setback for the Fever. It's a blow to the WNBA as a whole, stripping away the star power that had been pulling in new fans and fueling the league's momentum.
Caitlin's departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
It's uncommon for a first-year player to shake an entire league to its core, but Caitlin Clark has proven she's anything but ordinary from her very first WNBA appearance. She captured the spotlight, delivering performances that immediately place her among conversations typically reserved for legends. Many have compared her arrival in the WNBA to the transformative presence of LeBron James or Stephen Curry in the NBA. Clark's energy didn't just electrify Fever fans. It rippled across the entire league, turning her into a must-watch attraction every time she touched the floor. Her rare blend of scoring firepower and court vision made her a true anomaly in the game. And a noticeable drop in playoff viewership without her is perhaps the strongest testament to just how massive her influence has been, achieved in only her rookie season.
Okay, now let's not talk viewership, let's talk ticket sales. Bear with me. Ticket sales grew in 2023 by 16% from 2022. Ticket sales have grown by 93% in 2024. What that means is without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would have taken till 2029 or 2030 to get to where Caitlin Clark has gotten them today.
Reflecting on Caitlin Clark's rookie campaign, it's evident that fatigue played a major factor in why the Fever couldn't advance further in the postseason. Clark's year was relentless. She logged an extraordinary number of games between her college run with Iowa and her debut WNBA season, nearly equaling the workload of NBA stars over the course of a full schedule. In a whirlwind stretch, she went from leading Iowa to the NCAA championship game straight into her rookie year with Indiana, and then immediately into the playoff grind, all with minimal recovery time. By the season's end, Clark was clearly worn down, yet she still rose to the occasion. Her resilience and basketball IQ shone through as she battled exhaustion, but continued producing at an elite level. Against the Connecticut Sun, she poured in 25 points, handed out 9 assists, and played with her trademark fire and competitiveness. Still, her heroics couldn't single-handedly rescue Indiana's playoff run. Clark never shied away from the spotlight, carrying her team through critical stretches. But basketball isn't one alone. The Fever's struggles with consistency on both offense and defense proved too costly, ultimately bringing their season to a close despite Clark's brilliance.
With Caitlin comes millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs. And with those millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs, unfortunately, is going to come some people who are not nice.
Fouls became an unfortunate subplot in Caitlin Clark's final outing of the season. A string of questionable whistles went against her, sparking frustration from fans and analysts who speculated that Clark might be officiated under a different standard because of her rising superstar status. The interruptions threw off her rhythm and limited her ability to fully dictate the game's flow. Still, Clark never lost her composure. She battled through the adversity, staying focused and driving her team forward with grit and determination, determined to drag the Fever into the next round. But without steady scoring help from her teammates and sharper execution on defense, her valiant effort couldn't overcome Connecticut's relentless attack.
A lot of things that this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season and two, after the start we had to the season. So, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple of weeks. And then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. So
right now, Caitlin Clark has chosen to take a much-needed pause. Unlike many players who spend the offseason competing overseas or entering 3-on-3 tournaments, she's opting out, focusing instead on rest and recovery after a season that pushed her to the limit both physically and mentally. Considering she played nearly as many games as an NBA veteran while carrying the weight of being a franchise centerpiece in her rookie year, her decision feels not only justified but necessary. Clark's first year demanded more than just on-court excellence. It required her to handle the relentless spotlight that came with being the league's new face. That combination of physical grind and emotional pressure would wear down even the most seasoned athletes. Despite it all, she delivered, elevating the WNBA's visibility and drawing a wave of new fans with her dazzling play and magnetic personality. But with Clark temporarily out of the picture, the league is already feeling the effects. Viewership is slipping, and it's not only Fever loyalists tuning out. It's casual fans who are drawn in specifically by Clark's star power. For years, the WNBA has been searching for a true centerpiece, someone who could energize the sport on a national scale. In Caitlin Clark, they finally found that figure, and her absence only underscores just how valuable she has become to the league's growth.
but they don't want it to grow if it's certain people at the face. And there is still this undertone of jealousy that for some reason I cannot get around calling it anything else but that, because I don't know what else it could be. I thought it was going to get better this season, but it hasn't. There are still people who seemingly, to me, feel like they just don't want Caitlin to be a part of it.
Caitlin Clark's influence on basketball has been nothing short of transformative. Her record-breaking run at Iowa, followed by a brilliant rookie campaign in the WNBA, has propelled her into global recognition. She's not only a star in the United States, but a name resonating with fans around the world. Clark has taken women's basketball to new heights, sparking unprecedented interest and inspiring young athletes everywhere. Her fearless scoring, clutch performances, and relentless competitive spirit have captured the imagination of basketball lovers across continents. Yet, with Clark no longer on the floor, the spotlight on the WNBA has dimmed. The noticeable dip in viewership highlights just how much her presence fuels the league's momentum. She doesn't merely affect individual games. She shapes the way women's basketball is perceived and consumed on a global scale. Without her electrifying style of play, the league is already experiencing the ripple effects of her absence. Clark is no longer just the face of the Indiana Fever. She's rapidly become the face of the WNBA itself. Her energy, charisma, and generational talent have positioned her as a game-changing figure for the sport. And now, as the playoffs march on without her, the league is learning in real time just how vital she is to its growth, appeal, and future. Caitlin Clark isn't simply another rising star. She represents the next era of women's basketball.
The response of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her, is like, whoa, bro. Like, also, like, you're in my mentions talking about women's basketball. I've never ever seen you before in my life. Like,
the WNBA is filled with elite talent, but it's Caitlin Clark who has become the driving force behind the league's surging popularity. Her magnetic presence, both on and off the floor, has drawn in fans at an unprecedented rate and expanded the league's reach worldwide. With Clark now taking a break, the WNBA faces a challenge of sustaining momentum without its brightest attraction, leaving a noticeable gap in excitement that no other player has quite managed to replace. Indiana's season told the story of her impact better than anything else. The Fever led the league in home and road attendance, proof of Clark's unmatched ability to generate buzz and fill arenas. Her influence stretches far beyond one team. She has redefined what fan engagement looks like in women's basketball. Yet, with the Fever now eliminated, many fans have stepped away from following the postseason altogether, underscoring just how much of the league's audience she commands. Clark's star power is undeniable. She has quickly become not just the centerpiece of the Fever, but the cornerstone of the WNBA's future. As anticipation builds for next season, one thing is certain. Her return will reignite the energy she's brought to the game, once again lifting the league to new heights.
What is the major point that you want to make here, your major thesis statement on this? Because every time Caitlin Clark comes up, I feel like there's something that you want to get off your chest in terms of this narrative, where you're frustrated.
Well, first of all, I'm not frustrated. Number two, I did get stuff off my chest on numerous occasions. I'm just reiterating my points because I think one of the things that needed to be mentioned was that even though Caitlin Clark is new to this, and even though she has proven to be a potentially sensational player, the resentment that some, not most, not all, that stuff that was going on was real.
Caitlin Clark's rookie campaign may have wrapped up sooner than fans anticipated, but her influence on the WNBA is already undeniable. Her fearless long-range shooting, fiery competitiveness, and ability to command attention both in the arena and through the broadcast have cemented her as the league's centerpiece moving forward. Clark didn't just play basketball, she elevated the entire product, pulling in new audiences and driving viewership to levels the league has long sought. Now, as she steps away for a much-deserved rest, the WNBA faces a daunting question: how to sustain momentum without its brightest star on the floor. Her absence has created a clear dip in energy and engagement, reminding everyone just how essential she's become to the league's growth. Fans, meanwhile, are already counting down the days until her return, knowing her comeback will be one of the most anticipated moments in WNBA history. Clark's presence has reshaped women's basketball and expanded its global reach. turning casual viewers into invested supporters. Until she's back, the league must weather a quieter stretch, fully aware that the basketball world is waiting for her next chapter. And when she does return, her star power promises to ignite another surge of excitement, setting the stage for a season that could once again redefine the future of the WNBA.